Today is the long-awaited reveal of my good friend Jolt and Daniel, who live here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was here 9 months ago and I toured their home with them right after they bought it. Now they put all the work in, 9 months worth, and I'm here to tell you it is amazing. I got here yesterday, so we had an entire day to add all the finishing touches, and now it's ready to show you. Are you ready? Let's go get the guys. There's something under the staircase. I didn't hurt anybody's feelings, right?
No.
No, never.
Becky?
Right? Daniel, Jolt, you guys ready? Are you ready to show the world what you have done? Oh my gosh, you guys. This is Jolt, if you don't remember him from our first video when I first toured this house. And this is Daniel, he's my old hairdresser. Now, if you saw the original video, you know that I gave them all kinds of suggestions. They did that and then some. But as we enter each room, you're gonna get to see what it was like before. For example, take a look at this entryway. First off, we got this spectacular area rug. Thanks to Audie at Audja Rugs in La Jolla. I called him and I said I need this specific color, and he provided us exactly what we needed. And it's such an unusual color. You'll see that these guys really went bold. And then both Jolt and Daniel did this wall themselves. It was a DIY. Tell us about this.
You suggested doing kind of the thin slats and horizontal here, and we went to Lowe's and we laid them out on the ground, and we just both weren't in love with the thinner slats, and we picked these up, and these are cedar, and we planed them down and then stained them and gave it kind of just this dramatic look to it.
And you got it all nice and straight. I bet that. Did you have any tricks on that? Did you have like a spacer that went between?
We actually used the level.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Spacer. It was
very old school.
Yeah.
I love having this really tall palm tree in here. And then we, of course, we planted. Like I said, you guys, I was here yesterday. We spent the entire day running all over town, buying things at Home Goods and Home Depot and Target, and we got a lot of stuff. But just planting this, I just think that that adds the color down there. It looks really nice. And then we bought this oversized pot, which took a lot of dirt, did it not, guys? We repotted it last night and put it in here. Also,
I was gonna say,
right here, oh, you added these lights too, didn't you?
So all new lighting throughout the whole house.
And that was a big thing. We talked about that.
And I don't know if you noticed, but there's no popcorn ceiling or texture on the walls.
That is a big project.
That was
you must
one
have
of the
someone
larger,
you had someone do that for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a mess, isn't it?
It's a mess, and to live in it is
challenging.
Middle of the summer.
Oh my gosh.
Not easy.
But
well, look at this over here. Just details like right here. This black switch plate, and it's a 3-gang switch plate, and it has a very special, like you push a button and you see the little dots. Daniel painted this to be black. It was originally white, and it really stuck out really strongly. But then he put tape over the part that you need to see the little lights. I think it looks amazing.
There's a lot of hacks.
Someone's probably gonna make this. There are a lot of hacks. Let me just tell you, there are so many hacks in this home. I'm thinking this is gonna be an hour-long video, but rather than do that, why don't we do a hack video? Leave us a comment below and let me know if you want to know all the hacks, because Daniel and Jolt are very, very creative. Both of them are. And they did so many things DIY themselves and made up. It was amazing.
All the hard work getting done himself. Yeah.
So tell me what happened here, because we originally, when I left last July, there was no entry door in the budget.
there wasn't, and when we put in the back door and it was this beautiful iron, we reached out to the company, Black Diamond Iron Doors, and they hooked us up. They got it out right away.
The best part here is you painted the wall black too, which flows beautifully behind these slats and then flows over to this wall here. And this is something we had discussed when I was here in July. Tell us about that.
We talked about wrapping it and taking it all the way to the ceiling. Again, it just draws your eye, continues to draw your eye. A lot of things that really we connected through the house to the backyard, and it's amazing.
And not only do you have the cedar, it's cedar?
Yeah.
Okay, the cedar that wraps around, but the black wall itself as the base coat not only goes behind the cedar, but then it wraps again around this doorway entrance. And that's one of the things that we did yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
suggested that.
I got here and I said, this white drywall here is just too much contrast. Why don't you wrap the black around? I went to bed and I got up in the morning and it was done. These guys are amazing. I had shared with the guys when I was here before that this first wall here is so large because it's vaulted. It goes super high. And when you have a big wall, it can look kind of lost because what do you put up there? So I told them I thought they really needed an amazing, take your breath away piece of art on this wall. And we found a piece while I was here. And that was what started the entire color scheme of this room. Remember, while I was here, we picked out all the fabrics, we picked out these chairs, all of the furniture in here, and we laid it all out. What ended up happening with the piece of art? Because this is not the one, right?
No, actually there was another artist in Laguna Beach that I was looking at. And we were searching online for hours and hours, and I was thinking about an art piece from the artist in Laguna Beach, but it wasn't big enough. No matter what, I went to the studio and looked at it and kept looking, and I
It
came
needs
back
to be big.
and we finally found this piece online.
Wow.
8 foot wide by 36 inches. That is a huge piece of art.
That's kind of the cool thing is it's artists from all over that put their art on, and you buy their art in any size that you want.
Oh, wow. And could you choose the kind of, like this could be on canvas, it could be on, what is this,
Metal.
glass? What is
This
this?
is some metal.
This is on acrylic. Wow. If you take a look at the furniture layout in here, we tried to create a conversational area. Have you had people over since you finished the house?
Oh yeah.
And has
many
it
guests.
worked out from a
Oh,
conversation
oh, yeah.
standpoint?
Great. Everybody's overwhelmed with how beautiful and just. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, the fact that we did a neutral colored sofa, neutral chairs that look like they go together. They're not exactly the same, but they look similar in the shape of the arms and stuff. And then these awesome plum chairs. They're just, But let's talk about what comes down in the center of the room. Talk about drama and taking your breath away.
It's one of my favorite things.
It is
And he was the one
amazing.
that was unsure of it. He's like going down this low. He wasn't sure that.
I
He's
thought
like,
it would be.
Like
Yeah,
you would not be,
distraction.
yeah.
But I did love the light. The first time I saw it, I'm like, I need
Yes,
this light.
I remember you
want this
liking it.
light.
Now, when you do sit here, this isn't in your way, is it? It's just above your eye. Now, if you're
Perfect.
standing up, yes, it is in your way, but it's meant to be for a conversation, right? And the drama that it creates coming down that far is just breathtaking. Then, of course, you added all the candle lights in the ceiling, so you have lighting specifically for your art, specifically for your seating. And you know what's interesting to me, because we had talked about where to put the lights, I didn't realize it was going to create a circle.
Circle.
And
You
it
just
really
aimed
looks
it down
cool.
to the,
Yeah, it looks
chairs.
really cool in when you look up at the ceiling
right.
too.
And you and Jolt changed a few things, and it still works.
Yes. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. Like I said, I came yesterday, and they put the furniture I mean, I knew what they were getting, right? They put it exactly where I told them to. However, once I walked in, I thought, it looks great, but let's play around with it a little bit. So we did. We started, Jolt and I, we moved the chairs back and forth and around, and we came up with this situation, and I gotta tell you, I love this.
Yeah.
Because when you walk
more
in, you
intimate.
see these chairs rather than seeing the back of them.
Right.
And they're so close to this piece of art here, and you see the rug. I mean, it just, it's a color story like none other. We did do new window treatments in here. And this is one of the things that I definitely had a say on yesterday when we were working. And what was that, Jolt?
We chose sheer
sheer fabric.
Fabric.
Yeah.
Sheer fabric, and it didn't hold the shape because
It
it wasn't
didn't.
heavy enough.
Exactly.
And so you suggested to use a heavier fabric so it could actually hold the shape of
the velvet will carry the weight of the room. I mean, these are all heavy pieces of furniture, right?
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be airy and light. I don't think we lost any of that airiness, but we maintained a smoky, rich, yummy feel. And unfortunately, the guys, when the window treatments went in, they went in too low. They were just above the windows and the brackets were in the center. Let's show you how we rectified and took care of that with our friend Chris from Budget Blinds. Yay, Chris, we love you.
Thank you.
Now, these are never going to be opened and closed.
Yeah,
they are just on the walls.
No weight on it.
Enough into the window that you don't see the edge. So here's what I do. I put a bracket here, and then I take one of those brackets and I put it in here.
Yes.
So that, or you could even put it here, you know, so that you still have a thing here. You gotta make sure that, you know, we have the ability to spread these out as we want.
bracket won't interfere.
But the brackets will be here and here.
Okay.
And there, and that should eliminate any need for a bracket in the center. This dining table in this live edge is scrumptious. It's exactly what I hoped you would get.
And it's large and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful statement.
And you actually bought 8 chairs, right?
We did.
We said it was 6, and then we used 2 others in guest rooms, so that's always kind of nice because they're very neutral. And I love the dark wood and the brass accents.
Which ties every kind of little thing in here in
All the
together.
finishes,
and it's
yeah.
amazing.
Now, what I also love about this is we have decided to use black as an accent color in this home. So the black epoxy in this table and the color of all the different stains in this particular piece of wood is so perfect with that.
Right, which
It's
is
just
the
a flow.
wraparound
Yeah.
wall that you had talked about us doing.
Daniel, I know that Jolt is really, like, these are one of his favorite things.
Right.
These really, like, delicate kind of bubble candlesticks for tapers.
We love those. We set it with for Christmas originally, and then they start coming out with other colors, and we just keep adding. And
Yeah. Then, one of the things I thought was good, we were playing around with this table setting last night, and I came up with this crazy raggedy doll look for napkins. It was basically because they went with this purple theme in their house, so they bought 3 different shades of purple napkin, all in linen, and they need to be ironed after they've been washed. And I said, I just think it almost looks like a, I don't know, is it a cabbage rose or a vintage rose kind of look?
Right.
Anyway, I just put them all together on a napkin ring, and then we've got the beautiful silverware and organic kind of dishes on a glass charger, which is beautiful. But here's what's cool. Between where the people sit here, we have put low potted herbs, and they'll go back outside so they stay alive or near the window. But for a table setting, it's beautiful to bring it in. And then the candles are on in between. So you have this large space here, and you go to the next place setting, and there's another plant and low candles, so that when you're setting your table, you don't get anything in your way, your view of the person that you're sitting across from. So this is beautiful. Now you guys put in a new light bar here. Remember
We
you
did.
had the old Edison bulbs, a fixture
Which-
that you had DIY'd before.
Love, but we just felt something very clean here.
Yes.
Because we do have that in the living room and this table.
It's beautiful. All right, let's go over and take a look at what we did. Remember, you guys remember over here on the wall I'm about to show you, there was an aquarium and a white cabinet with a butcher block on top and a typical window. Let's take a look at it now. I love this, Daniel, how you guys painted this, added this gorgeous, like, almost coppery sort of finish
Right.
on the hardware, and then you added the granite top. And it has flecks, if you look close, it's got flecks of gold and
Right.
flecks of copper. All of those colors going so beautifully, connecting. But the thing I loved most is we added the whole plate glass window.
Right.
And that, I think, made this space, what?
More
Raised
light.
up the header height. That's
About
a
a
big
foot,
thing.
yeah.
So one of the things that I should tell you guys is in this house, there are so many different levels. You step down into the living room, you step up to the entry, you step up to the dining room, you step down to a den, you step up to bedrooms. I mean, there's just like all these different levels. At the same time, the architect decided to do different heights on his windows and doors. That drives me insane. So that was like a big part of the reason we did a lot of what we did was to raise up the heights and kind of create a more standard height around, consistent height around the room by changing the windows. Some of these things are hacks and some of them are actual real things. We're going to go on into the kitchen now and we're going to show you some of the real and some of the hacks. Let's go. Joel,
Thank
do you
you.
love your new kitchen?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time here.
Yeah, we do. And I've only been here a day. But this is like this island. Was this part of the original plan?
No, it wasn't. We got invited to Daniel's relatives, and they had this beautiful, huge island. And I just fell in love. And I said, I want to go home, and I need a bigger island.
I like how you work. I want it, let's do it. Okay,
Yeah.
well, so what is this material then?
So it's also Black Galaxy with the waterfall.
Yeah, and which I love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
and it's
too.
only on one side, right? You
beautiful.
didn't waterfall
Yes.
that side. That is so classy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
since we had this narrower island, we needed a support. So this is perfect support for this side. And we added a cabinet over there, so it's a very stable and
So
beautiful
what you're
big
saying-
space.
This is the original island. You didn't
Yeah.
get rid of it. You kept it.
No, we kept it, except it was just like a foot shorter.
It stopped here?
Yeah, something like
Okay,
that.
so it was very narrow.
Yeah.
And so you extended it, which gave you a nice bar area.
Yes.
Especially with this waterfall edge. I
I
love
love
that.
this
And
piece.
it's a nice pencil edge too. Sometimes people say, what do you recommend for the edges? You know, the double OG edge is no longer, it's very much the OG of stone finish edging. Okay. All right, so now you've got all your accessories looking nicely, but there was one thing, remember I talked about, when I was with Daniel, we talked about the heights of the windows.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how they were all so different. What did we do in here?
So when you arrived, you immediately said that something is missing from the windows. And that was the header.
Yeah, it's like a valance.
So we went shopping and we ended up at Crate and Barrel and we just bought
Placemats.
Placemats
And runners.
And runners.
Yes.
And we ended up with the runners.
We ended
and
up
we
with
made
the
it
runner.
into a header.
Yeah, so that was a definite DIY little project right there. Do you like how that turned out?
I love it.
I
it
think so,
seems like
too.
we have a huge window.
Yeah,
And
because the window should have gone to the ceiling, don't you think?
All the
Hello,
way, yeah.
architects of America. Windows should definitely be higher. Do you think they heard me? Well, it was worth a
I
try.
don't know. Probably
All
not.
right. So this is a cute little space here. It was here before, obviously, but we have a new window treatments. But what did you guys do here?
We only added this new light. We kept the original table. We added these 4 chairs. Practically, that's it.
I
Oh no,
love
we also bought this
The rug. I love the geometric shape of the rug. I think this turned out really cute. It's just kind of like a side thing. Your main dining table's there.
Kids table.
Yeah, there you go. It's probably where they'd send me.
We had somebody who worked on the mirror. We put the mirror in the bathroom.
Okay.
And he said, oh, I can put a new rail here, glass rail. And I was hooked. We
But I
with
love the fact that you did smoked.
Yeah, we went the smoked glass, and it changed the whole entire
And even the way
place.
it's clipped and stuff, this kind of reminds me of what you would see in a shower door kind of thing. You know, it's just very modern and clean.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have glass railings in their home, right? But you don't often see the smoked glass. And in this house in particular, because of the whole theme and the color scheme and the direction we went, it is so perfect.
I love it.
I love it too.
Daniel, come on over and take it over.
Yeah, Daniel, come and tell me what you guys did on this staircase up here.
So we knew we wanted some wall sconces. We took the same cedar boards from the wall in the front, and
I didn't even know that till just now. I knew that you made them, but I didn't know that's what those were. Those are left over from the slatted wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it carries that same tone and that warmth of it, and just put rope lights.
Take some. Oh, it's rope lights.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's a really fine rope light. We always had the black wall on the back wall in the den, and
But it was a TV.
it was a TV.
And what is it now?
It's now the ER sign.
See, we didn't get rid of the ER sign. We just moved it to this, which adds so much light.
It does.
Because it was so dark before.
Right. And we painted the top black, which
right.
now when you're up here and you're looking out, you don't, it just looks like it extends all
Yes,
the way
because
up.
before it looked like a dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. And now it's like, oh.
Right. And we still have a TV, but now it's a projector with a screen in the ceiling, so
We'll
that
have
it's
to take a look
consumed.
at that and see how that works. That's
Right.
pretty cool. And then there's something under the staircase.
Okay, so the fish tank had to go somewhere, so there's a closet behind,
Staircase?
underneath the stairs. We don't use it, we utilized it for the fish tank.
So he embedded the fish tank, cut a hole out of the wall. You actually even added on some wall, right? Because
Right.
it wasn't, you're limited how far you can go this direction because there's stairs, right?
Right.
So it had to be over so far that after you got it in, you went, it needs more
looked
wall.
Off balance, and so what we did is we actually extended the wall towards the bar area, which has a lot of space, and made a false wall.
Well, let's switch our attention around and we're going to look at the furniture in this room. It's still the dog's room, right?
Right.
But you have the drop down screen. However, it looks great. You got a new sofa.
We did. We were gonna keep the old one, but we decided since we've done everything, you might as well get a new sofa.
Why stop now? It's one of my
Right.
favorite phrases. The best part.
It leads you out to this amazing door that we put in. It's, again, it's all steel.
That was one of the things that was in our original plan.
Right.
Because here again, we had a kitchen window that was here, and a dining room window that was here, and then a sliding glass door that was here, and then a fireplace that was here. It was like, it was like a roller coaster effect, which if you're a member of the design sessions, you know is an absolute no-no. So
Right.
you guys took out the slider, but you raised it.
Yes, so we actually,
It was 6'8", right?
I
It was a
believe
standard.
so. It was a standard
And
slider.
is this 8?
Or it was a standard French door. We got quoted from a window company to put one in, and it was going to be like 30 grand, and we were like, that's not happening. So,
Was that my idea? I meant that was Jolt's idea.
So we actually looked online and found this company, and it cost us a little over 5 grand to have the door, and then a couple thousand to have it put in.
And that's the same company that did their front door, their
Yes.
entry door. Amazing. And what's the name of that company? Let's give them a shout out.
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond.
Yes.
That's a good name. Okay. So should we go ahead and go
Actually,
out the backyard?
let's go upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I want to check out the
hey.
master. Jolt's waiting.
Hey, Jolt. Whoa, you guys. This room, what a huge difference. The bedding, this headboard.
Yeah, the headboard came out
I
great.
love
That
this.
rich color.
Yeah. So let me give you guys just a little heads up. When I was here in July, we picked out all the furniture, and the guys were looking at 2 different pieces of art to potentially put in the living room. One of them had a color scheme that was forest or emerald green and this beautiful copper color. they didn't like that piece of art as much as they liked the art with the purple. So that's what we ended up doing in the living room.
Right.
And then I think it was Jolt who said, could we do this color combination in our bedroom? Even though we didn't get the art, we just loved the green and the copper
colors.
together. What do you guys think? Leave us a comment below and let us know. Beautiful chocolate brown pillows, and then light colored bedding in a satin finish. And then you've brought in the silver, the brown, and then to repeat the color, we wanted a smoky look. We wanted this room to be what?
Sexy.
That's what we wanted. Sexy was the order of the day, so I think they got that. But I love the chairs at the end of the bed. I think
Well, and his worry was that it was going to be too high and you couldn't see the TV.
Exactly.
And
right,
that-
because there was a huge, large screen, flat screen television right here on the side wall. And if I'm not mistaken, it was probably on a big old bracket that you
Yes.
pulled away from the wall and you could turn so you could be in
Right.
bed and
I
watch.
can angle it.
How, that is so classy.
Same thing with the light fixture here. You suggested a drop down, and he again was worried that it would obstruct view. But
Yeah.
Are you one of those people? Are you afraid to bring a light fixture down because you think it's going to obstruct your view, or chairs up because you think it's going to obstruct your view? What do you have to say, Jolt?
We tested it and it worked. It didn't.
You can see through,
Yeah, I
right?
can see through.
It's really not. But what it does do is it adds drama
Oh,
to
yeah.
the room. So with this severely vaulted ceiling,
Yeah.
the walls were all white, and it felt very vast and open. Oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being open, but it didn't feel intimate.
no.
No. All right, take a look at how beautiful these lamps are. That was an issue. You kept sending me pictures.
Yeah.
As the room was coming together, he would send me pictures. We got the lamps. And I'm like, keep trying, guys. But the important thing is when you have, especially when you have an extremely high headboard, it's very important to have lamps that are tall enough. I would guess those to be between 30 and 36 inches. And I think that the black shades on that look so good. And then, of course, they brought
board
that brushed brass look into this bubble-like Sputnik sort of mid-century looking chandelier or light fixture that hangs down in the middle of the room.
Hey Google, close the master.
She's a little slower than Alexa. I'm just saying.
She's contemplating if she wants to work with you or not.
Is that what it is?
That shade, again from Budget Blinds Chris, it's channeled in a black channel all the way around so that when it's open it looks like a window frame, and when it's closed it's complete blackout.
So is this table here new?
Yeah, and actually I got that at Worldmart, was having like a showcase sale, and
Oh.
went in there and found it. They're
So
trying to get rid of
beautiful
it.
chairs. These are from Ethan Allen, correct?
Right.
And I think the headboard is as
Headboard
well.
is.
And then the two nightstands. They got brand new nightstands. The ones you had before were vintage, and you've used them now in one of your
We've
guest
reused
bedrooms.
them, yep.
But I have a question for you. How often do you make your bed?
Every morning.
Every morning.
What?
Every morning.
Did you always do that before?
We were pretty regularly, but now
it's just
every morning.
It's just
a-
so beautiful.
yeah.
Do you love to walk, just even walking in and out to grab
Yeah,
something out of the
absolutely.
bathroom? Speaking of the bathroom, would you like to see how that turned out?
In here, we kept the vanity. We added a beautiful wall-to-wall mirror above it, having them drill in the holes so that we could actually mount the lights. Somewhere to find my cologne collection, we added a simple acrylic floating shelf. We also carried that dark, rich color from the master headboard wall into this room and giving it a very luxury feel. We also took off that door, if you remember, it swung open into this area, so we took it off and added a nice barn door that now opened this space up and allowed us to utilize the whole space. When's the last time you came out of the closet loving what you are wearing? And we did that by utilizing this complete space. We added all new wardrobe from IKEA, the PAX wardrobe system. We had this weird corner here, which is part of another room that we could not get rid of. So we actually made that a full-length mirror. So we walk out of here loving what we wear. So we put in the barn door, opening this whole space up. And in the next room that connects this is the shower room, and I will let Jolt explain what we did there.
So this bathroom was pretty plain, to be honest, and we decided to put some color in here. We changed the color of the wall, matching with the furniture in the master bedroom. We put a beautiful picture of Brigitte Bardot, my girl, and we put a brand new tile and created a beautiful shower here. This is what it looks like now. Kept the original furniture, put a piece of stone in it, with a piece of flower and plants, and I think it looks great.
One of the things that's really great about this house is it actually has 3 guest rooms. So here's the room that is dedicated to Jolt's daughter. Her name is Lily. This is Lily's room. She got to pick the theme. She wanted an upholstered headboard. So here's what the guys did. They got a new headboard in a off-white linen, and then they got all bedding in a very neutral tone. It's kind of like a velvet corduroy look. Then the sateen pillowcase is actually, now that I feel it, it's actually velvet. I don't have my glasses on, have I mentioned that? This is a great duvet cover that kind of set a theme and a mode and a mood in this room. Then they used existing nightstands. This is what used to be in the primary bedroom, and you can see why I wanted the guys to replace them. They're fine in a small bedroom that, you know, has a queen size bed. But in their bedroom with a king size, they needed more substantial nightstands. Here's what I did though. When I walked in, I saw the room. The room was all painted in this beautiful off-white color in a matte finish. And I think we've mentioned before that they had the walls all smoothed out so it no longer has the knockdown orange peel texture. So it looks very serene and beautiful. They added some really nice, almost wheat color, slightly taupe, but a little bit warmer than that, in window treatment panels on either side. They have the motorized shades. But when I looked at the room, I felt like there's just something missing in here. It needs a little bit more ta-da. And so came the idea to create an accent wall. Where did we get the color for the accent wall? Right here on the bedding. We didn't have this with us, so we looked it up online, you know, pinched it on your screen to make it larger, and we picked a color. I believe the color, it's a Sherwin-Williams color. I think it's spiced cider. We'll put it in the description box below. It's a flat finish, and so it just has kind of a dusty, yummy look to it. But look how that color on the wall brings your eye in here, creates a sense of cohesion and connection, and altogether, this room is absolutely beautiful. Just across from the bedroom I just showed you is this one, and this one has a silver striped wallpaper. So I think the guys did a really great job of recognizing that the wall behind your bed is perfect to create a focal point. Very symmetrical with matching nightstands. I believe these are just IKEA, but they added a piece of glass on top, and that alone adds so much more quality. It looks like a more expensive piece of furniture that way. They had 2 lamps. These were existing lamps that they already had, and they work perfectly in here because of the scale and the height, you know, as it relates to the headboard. Look at this headboard. Isn't that beautiful? It is a tufted velvet headboard in a dark charcoal, but the top here kind of curves out, so it has sort of an inclusive feel and look to it. They did very simple white bedding and then added gray, charcoal, and then the soft silvery blue color to sort of bring in the color of the wallpaper and tied it in with a throw at the end of the bed. Now, here's something that Daniel did. Now this right here, so I can say this, Daniel selected his fabric for his window treatments before he watched my video. Actually, it wasn't even out yet, hadn't been born yet, on window treatments. And I state very clearly that I am not a fan of sheer fabric in windows because I think it's super wimpy. However, this is kind of like a netting fabric, and it does kind of softly give a nod to the fact that there are some color treatments on either side. If he was going to redo it now, I think he would take my advice and go with something that has more weight to it. Now the 2 guest rooms upstairs share a bathroom. So these are the few things that the guys did to sort of update it a little bit. They added a new mirror above the vanity, changed out the faucets to be black, changed the hardware on the cabinets to match the faucets, and then Daniel added a really cute towel rack system above the toilet. And this is something that Daniel made. It's made with the plumbing type pipes, so it looks very industrial and has the natural wood shelves. And look how much storage, but actually quite nice looking as well. How nice is it to have a guest bedroom on the main floor, the downstairs? I think this is wonderful. Now this room is only 9 feet wide this way, and it's 10.5 feet wide this way. That means it's a really small bedroom, just the right size for a queen size bed. When Daniel sent me the picture, he showed this to me and I went, Daniel, you know what? If you're gonna get window treatments, and they were going to, I said, do dark royal blue velvet, because it will anchor the room and give it so much panache. This is your focal point wall. This bedding is beautiful, a royal blue throw over the top in velvet. And Daniel had sent me a picture of this room when it was done, and it had this fabulous wallpaper. I mean, this is really, really textured, makes for a great headboard to sit against it. Now this has got the dark and the brass here. So these two colors are in the wallpaper. Then with the light upholstery here in the channel back is just, I think it's yummy. Then they have two small nightstands that they added some Black Galaxy leftover pieces from the kitchen. Important to remember to always put your bed directly in the center of the room and then measure everything out. This creates such symmetry. It's absolutely beautiful. A pair of matching lamps and you're good to go. Guys, your backyard is an oasis.
It's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. Of the difference between what it looked like 9 months ago and today, let's sit down next to your absolutely fabulous custom-made fireplace.
People think it's 102
Year-round.
year-round,
Right.
but it gets cold.
Yeah.
And so to have this, we can actually sit out here and, have friends over and still
And it
be
does
warm.
get cool at night.
It
I mean,
does.
I think the heat from this feels good right now,
Right.
And it was 80 something today.
Yeah, it
so.
drops at night. It's
Yeah.
really, really cold, but
So this is artificial turf.
yes.
And then you put in a brand new tree here
Yes.
because the original one was it was one of those ones that dropped pine cones all over. It was a
Right.
hot mess tree. When I came out 9 months ago and I saw your backyard, I knew what you wanted to do on the inside and I was all for it. But then you wanted to also do a pool. So how has this changed your life?
Oh my God. We just love coming here and use the jacuzzi, even if it's cold.
Yeah?
Just jump in and feel good. And then
Yeah.
I actually heat a pool when guests coming over or my daughter comes over. Something.
Let's heat it tonight. I brought my bathing suit.
Sounds good.
You did a bunch of hacks out here. You've done
Yes.
some really smart things, but you've created a lot of little areas, you've extended your living space.
And what's funny is you talk about symmetry, and we really didn't think about it until you kind of the grass layout mimics the pool. And you've got this kind of center divider, and when we were putting in this fireplace, we left and right centered with that
Centered with
door,
the door.
and
Doesn't that make a difference?
a big difference.
It's a grand entrance. Hot rods in Vegas. What is that?
So this is a piece of wood that they took out of the house.
Really?
And we utilized it and thought it was great here because now we actually added seating, but we didn't obscure the view from inside.
Exactly. I love the fact that it's hardwood and it brings in that natural element.
Right.
And then you brought it in again over in another seating area that's covered
Right.
by doing another slatted wall. Only this time, not having the black behind it, it's see-through.
Right. Because as you can tell, it does get windy in
Windy,
Vegas.
yeah.
So we wanted an area that if it was too windy, we could sit. It's like a windbreaker and it actually makes that space more personable.
So they kept their cinder block wall, but over on the side wall of the pool, it stepped down
Yes.
as it went along. What did you do over there?
We just added more blocks to it, so it's even on both sides, and we just colored it, painted it black.
Yes, painting it
And
black.
made
I mean,
a
what a
whole-
difference.
All new.
And of course, the black ties in so beautifully out
Right.
your windows from the inside. Then you've got the white below, and then you have the coping across the top. Then you
Float.
have the solar powered little stakes,
Right.
right? So those are like a Home Depot kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? An inexpensive way to do.
Add yard lights.
Yes.
Right.
Now, do you have special lighting in the jacuzzi or in the
Jacuzzi.
pool?
Yeah, there's color changing and you can change it to whatever or just multicolor in the pool and the jacuzzi. So
Awesome.
And the larger bushes do have spots on them, so you can change those colors. So
And do you have sound out here? Did you bring speakers?
we do have a speaker out here to play music, and
Right.
it's definitely becoming an entertainment home. And
Right.
our people that are coming to visit are loving it.
So one of the things I told Daniel when he picked me up at the airport was, hey, how would you like to have a barbecue and have guests on Friday night? And he said, sure. And I said, it's my son, Scott. And he said, Scotty, yes, of course. That would be awesome.
It's gonna be
So
great.
Scott and Rick are coming tomorrow night, and you're going to get to see how it really feels to live in this space, to be entertained by wonderful homeowners. And you guys, you're homeowners of this like gorgeous home. Every
Yes, we are.
aspect of it is just so
We're
special.
proud of it.
I
We
am
love it.
proud of you for following through, getting it all done. And it was fun the last few days, just kind of adding some finishing touches. And I didn't hurt anybody's feelings, right?
No.
No, never.
Becky?
Right? Ah, never.
Never.
Ah. I'm so glad you guys came along for the ride. If you have any questions, leave them in the description or the comments below. Also, let us know which room you like the best or what you were most amazed at. I do hope you will come back in probably a week, 2 weeks, and we will show you all the incredible hacks that Daniel and Jolt did in this home. I promise you there are going to be things in there that you are not going to want to miss. I think I've known Daniel for what, 18 years, maybe something like that. And I can tell you from the moment I met him, I knew we were kindred spirits because he is one of the most creative men I've ever met and can do anything. And of course, I adore and love you. And you're very creative too, and you're very beautiful.
you,
He's
thank
beautiful.
you.
Isn't he
Oh,
beautiful? I think
God.
he's beautiful. Okay.
That-
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for hosting me for a couple of days, putting up with me, and for being willing to be
very
on
welcome.
camera, guys. I don't know if you know this, but that is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's
It
not.
comes naturally for me, but Jolt,
It's not my thing, and it's not like I don't have anything to say. It's just I prefer not to be on the camera. And
he prefers not to be. So
Yeah.
let's say thank you to Jolt. And let me tell you how to spell that in case you're wondering. It's Z-S-O-L-T, Jolt. All right, thanks, Jolt. Appreciate it.
thank you, honey.
Of course. Love you.
Me too.
Holding it down just a final piece. No more white dress laying at your feet. Little miss there, everything you need. Bittersweet, you and me. Ready or not, no, it's impossible to fight a fire when